Good morning, traders, and welcome to the Bookmap live trading webinar. I'm your host, Bruce. Good morning, traders, and welcome to the Bookmap. Hold on just a moment, sorry. Okay, yeah, I'm your host, Bruce. I lead Bookmap's trading education here. We upload these live trading analysis events here Monday through Friday. It's live streaming is what it's all about in here, the live forward-looking analysis based off of our educational course so that you can apply what you've learned directly in the course in the live markets. All right, so we're going to first we talk the talk and then we walk the walk. We have the webinars here to follow up and prove the education in the live markets. So the schedule here is Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We have these events. We also have Jay Trader, a stocks trader, on Wednesday, and Scott Pulsini, a futures trader, on Thursday. They will be trading live. This is the the third part of the education. So you can apply what you've learned directly from the live webinars and then from other educators, how they view the market, their specific ways of trading and understanding what's going on. Today's agenda, I think we're going to we have a lot of data coming up this week, so I think we're going to take a step back, look at the higher time frames here, and then look at some lower time frames for some potential moves back and forth. Not really sure what to look for these days here, what the market's actually thinking right now, but we will see it in the order flow, the behavior of other traders, and that is the edge that you can get using Bookmap, is by having access to their behavior. All right, and that's what order flow is all about. General disclosure: all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. The risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Genevieve, welcome. Oh boy, welcome. All right. All right, and then let's see. We got a spammer in here, so you will be removed. And yeah, let's move forward. Okay. All right, guys. So let's jump in here. We'll take a look at the S&P E-mini and see what's going on. If you have any questions, good morning, McLoco. Also, good morning, JC. Yeah, we have the JC, exactly. So we have FOMC on Wednesday. We also have non-farm on Friday. So this is a really big data week. Last week we had mixed earnings. I mean, there was some afternoon trading that was very, very difficult getting set up for the earnings, etc. So anyway, let's move forward here and take a look at these markets, and we will. Good morning, Stephen. We will zoom out here. We'll look at the S&P. We'll go through the order flow right now, what we're viewing in here, and we're looking for. We see some sellers coming in. They're just testing the low of the day or the cash session here, and I'm looking for them to break it and trade into this maybe 71 and 70 here. So we just kind of inched below here. Now, one of the things in the order flow here, all right, as you guys know, what Bookmap is showing is very simple, 3 elements in here. And the one element I'm going to cover right now is the heat map, okay, because this is a bullish heat map right now, or more bullish heat map is what I want to say. So this is why. They are bidding up above this. See the liquidity in here at 38.70. Right here, this vertical white line is a divider between the current market here on the right hand side and the historical market on the left. So here at 38.70 we have 234 contracts. It is the most in the order book right now. These are limit buy orders down here. Okay, now what happened was we were coming down here to make a low. Okay, we did make a new low here, but see how they're bidding up in front of this area here. So what that means is that there are people who want to be buyers in front of this area. That's exactly what it means. That is a bit bullish. Okay, now what would be really bullish is if they would follow up underneath here. Okay, and if there was a trend to the upside and they were following up, that would be the most bullish. Good morning, Nicolo. So this is what we're reading in here. So a bounce back up here isn't out of the question. Okay, now we're rotating back down, and did we break structure up here? Do we see aggressive buyers break the high? No. We're finding more sellers down here yet again. Okay, so let's see them trade into and test these buyers here. The sellers want to meet the buyers. Here's where the transaction is going to take place at 38.71 and 70. All right, looks like there's enough sellers in here, so we're looking for them to trade a bit lower here. Okay, for right now, it's not much of a move, but that's what we'd be looking for. Okay, so and let me go over. So this is the liquidity. These are the limit buy orders down below. See them bid up again right underneath here at 72 now. Okay, so showing a little bit more in front of even 71. All right, so that again is bullish, right? So what we just had was kind of a little bit of a change in here. We see more liquidity come in, and what was the reaction? Well, the reaction was buyers. Now we're testing up here. Now actually we're looking for them not only to test here, and we made well, we'll go over this in a minute, a higher low in here. We're actually now looking for a little bit of a shift in the order flow for right now. If we get enough buyers up here, we should be able to trade up into this liquidity here and here. Okay, so 79 and 80. All right, so these areas right up in here. So I'm looking for buyers. Now, see how they're chasing underneath here? Or they're bidding up at a higher level, I should say. So we're looking again for buyers here. And let's see if they can trade and break this line right here, this structure. See the highs here, 1, 2, 3. Now we're looking for the break up into 80 or 79 and a quarter, then 80. All right, so we had a kind of a shift and a change there in the order flow. All right, any questions on that? How to read that? We'll go over the bigger picture here in just a minute. We're just kind of reading the current market right now, and we saw this, so we're looking for that move up into the 79 liquidity here, and then maybe you can get up into 80, and we'll see here if we can get up even higher, right? Maybe up into these swings up here, 83, and then maybe 85 liquidity up here. Now you can see how I'm using Bookmap. I'm pointing toward these areas of liquidity as potential targets. I think I have my heat map setting a little too much or a little too less here. Okay, that looks a little bit better. So I'm looking at these areas. These are where the sellers are. If there's enough buyers, they should be able to meet the sellers. Right? This is supply up here. We're looking at demand to push price up into supply up here and make the transactions. Okay, so we're again at 79 and kind of selling off now a little bit. It's kind of back and forth. But look how they're on the bid here, even at a higher level now. Okay, again, this is bullish, right? And see how they pulled here at 79? So they are in here for a little bit, and then the last minute they pulled that liquidity. Therefore, we're looking again for more buyers, which are green dots, which are market buy orders. And we're looking for them to pull up and test up into this 80 level, or it's 79 and 3/4. Right? Now, that's what we'd be looking for in this scenario. Let's cover the other scenario. Order flow changes. The market is dynamic. Right? So this scenario is still playing out. We're still finding buyers, and we're looking for them to test up into, there it is, 79 and 3/4. Okay, so let's zoom vertically a little bit more. And where can they go next? Well, yeah, 81, and then 80, 82 and a half, and then 85. Okay, now this kind of 81 level here looks pretty good too. I don't see liquidity there, but we're looking at a volume profile here. And that looks like a good area for it to test, right? Here's why. See this line here that we just drew? Okay, well, this is where there was a lot of volume transacted, and then a little bit above here, and then it dropped. So testing back up into the top of this range here is what we're kind of looking for, right? And then we're probably going to find some profit taking up here, and we'll probably find some sellers up here, maybe these sellers previously, and we may trade right back down to here, the bottom of this range, or our other line that we drew in here. Let's see if we can get that. I don't see it so far, but let's zoom in a little bit closer. No seller showing up, but just this is we're still going with scenario 1 here, which is to the upside. Now there's a couple of things to look for though that make this a little bit less sure, and that is, see how dark it is in here? They're not bidding up any longer. See how they were bidding up here, this liquidity up at higher levels in here? They're not doing that now. The market's still going up, but we don't see that here on the bid. It's kind of dark, right? So we're still going with scenario 1, but we want to be careful here and look for those sellers to come streaming in, try to drive it back down into where they can find the buyers down here. Any questions on this, guys? This is the same process we've been going through for a long time, we're still looking for our 85 liquidity to test. Okay, so anyway, that's scenario number 1. Okay, now we saw that unfold here. There we go. There through 85. There's even more buying pressure. All right, so now I imagine we'll get our profit taking up here. Okay, see this little area where it dropped from right in here? That's exactly where it tested. Okay, let's draw that one up too. Okay, so now what I'm drawing in here are these lines to understand these zones in here of trading activity. Okay, so we did it down here as well, and here's why. We had all this trading activity in here. Okay, so we thought, well, we could easily whip back down here to test this 77 level. We went with the primary scenario, but see how it's dark in here still? Okay, so it didn't. We still found buyers in here, and they lifted it up higher into 85 and then some. We're even above our little line here. Okay, the next level here is 90. Now that's a little bit easier to call since that liquidity is right here and we see the buyers already coming in. Okay, now see how they're front running here in front of that 90 level? Okay, so now, what does that mean? It means buyers have to trade into and through this to get into 90. There's more liquidity here, 185 contracts, even more than what's up at 90. Okay, so they may trade into them, but they may not be able to trade through them because there's a lot of seller supply here. All right, well, let's go through this again here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I'll just call you G. It's a tough one. Like I keep on wanting to say Guinevere or something like that, but I know that's not it. All right, rare. Let's see here. Is there where we can get import levels from our charting into Bookmap? Yeah, sure. Cloud Notes. That's how you do it. Yep. So you open up a column here. There's a video on our YouTube channel. Let me show you where that is. Okay, here. If you scroll down, go to a Bookmap, do a search for Bookmap, and then under bonus materials here, features and components, view full playlist. Click on that. And then you'll find it in here under columns. In fact, let me hold on for a minute here. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's go back here. Okay. and open this up in a new tab here. Okay. Okay, and then we can do a quick search in here. There's a bunch of videos in here. We likely need to restructure this here. Number 40, video number 40 in this playlist here. I'm going to put the playlist into the YouTube chat, all right, so that you have it. Okay, there you go. So video number 40, cloud notes and notes column, custom notes. All right, guys, it's getting kind of interesting here. They're still supporting it up higher here now. See how we didn't have this in here before. See this liquidity in here. This is bullish. Okay, so far it is, at least. They're staying in the order book, and they want to be buyers here in these levels. That's what it's telling us right now. Okay, that they want to be buyers in here. Right? We didn't have that in here. Okay, yet what we got instead was buyers, aggressive buyers, which are the green dots. Those are the market buy orders. Okay, let me show you how that works. Okay, market buy orders lift the offer, and they're the ones who actually move price. Okay, they take liquidity off of the best offer here, and they take enough liquidity that now the best offer is up another tick. Okay, now all we have to do is get a transaction up here, and now price has moved another tick. All right, now if they take enough liquidity off of here at 38, 82 and 3/4, okay, we'll get another move up, and see how we're kind of stalling out, going back and forth, and let's see if there's enough up here. Probably now we get one more. There we go. Now watch it in here. I kind of stopped here, right, because there's enough now trading at this level that can probably take these 53 contracts and trade a bit higher now. Okay, see that? See how they're transacting up here? So they should be able to lift it. Okay, and they finally did here. Right? This is a key element to understand an order flow. This is how the market moves. We're talking about much smaller structures in here. Okay, and then you can see these moves unfold. Okay, now look where it came back and retested, right? It came back and retested where these buyers came in. Okay, this is a low volume pullback to this area, and it makes sense. It would come back and retest this area and see if there's any sellers, and there are. So there's some back and forth in here right now. Okay, now they trade back down to 82. They're trading into 82. Can't get through it. Getting more buyers here. Let's see if they can trade up to 84, and there they go. Okay, so it's understanding this context between these limit sell orders in here. I'm sorry, these market sell orders and market buy orders versus the liquidity in here. So if they're going to support it down here on the bid, they want to be buyers at this 82 level with their limit buy orders, and we get enough buyers, they should be able to lift it up into this liquidity here. Next liquidity levels here at 84 3/4 and 85. Okay, and we get a nice move into that. All right, so anyway, that's understanding these moves in here, and then here we go, right? So we thought, wow, that's good, they're supporting it up here. Okay, so far. Now they trade into them. We find sellers trading into this high liquidity here on the bid. See them come in and trade into that. Now we see a lot of sellers coming in. Okay, so we look for them to trade it down to 82, maybe 80. Okay, so do we trade 80 yet? Not quite yet, but we should right now. Okay, let's see if we can trade into 80. We got a nice little pullback here into this liquidity at 84. And let's see if we can trade into 80 here. And let's zoom out a little bit more. Okay, that's our line that we put in here, okay, beforehand. Or right at it. It's actually a little bit lower here at 80. So maybe they can trade through that back down to this kind of 78 level here that we marked up previously. Okay, looking for those sellers. Here they come. Okay, so now how would you manage something like this? Well, first off, you know, if you're ready to take a trade on something, you want as many of the order flow events to line up as possible. And here, you know, it's okay. It's not that great though. You know, what we're looking at here is, I mean, there's a possibility of buyers to come in here and move it right back up to 85. Whereas in these areas here, it was an easier read, I thought. Okay, we had them on the bid. We're finding our buyers. We were looking for them to drop it here, okay, as we came into this webinar here. And we're looking for them to drop it into this liquidity down here, 71 to 70 or 72. They dropped it, and we're looking for it again in here, okay, and they didn't, right? And we saw that, God, I forget where we saw it first. I think we covered it in here when we were looking for it. And then, yeah, then we saw that, well, they traded back up to the top of the range here, and not enough buyers. So we come back down, and then we know that, yeah, this is where we left off. Okay, so this is just a review of the process in here, and this is why it was higher probability. Okay, is that we see that they're on the bid here. We see that they're selling into it. We know that there's selling pressure. We're looking for them to trade lower into all of this liquidity here. Okay, now, and we did make a lower low here. Okay, below the swing here at 73.25. Okay, now it only went down a few ticks. And this one went down below this swing here by about 1.5 points or so. And we want to look at also the way that it trades back up into the ranges here. And we know, and why does this matter in here? Because we know that there's some buying pressure here too. Okay, so we trade back down again. We do make a lower low, but not by much. And then we talked about this liquidity, okay, being, let's see, it was, yeah, it was in here that they were down here at 70, but now they're bidding up in here. Okay, and we said that's more bullish. Now they're bidding up and starting to chase under here, and we made a higher low in here, and we're looking for them to trade back up, at least buyers to trade back up to here. And we noted previously they did not break the structure, meaning they did not break these little swings in here. Okay, they just tested to it. So we're still bearish. Okay, we come back down here, and not enough sellers to even trade into these guys down here. Now they're bidding up. Now we see the buyers come in here. That's when we're looking for it to trade up to this area and potentially break it, and then trade up into our 79 and 80 level. Okay, and again, we saw them on the bid here. Now, and we made that distinction that this liquidity in here is now more bullish. Okay, they're bidding up, right? And we're finding the reaction to it is we're finding buyers. So we're looking for them to chest up into this area here and then potentially 85. Okay, so that's a pretty nice move. That's about a 10-point move from 75 on up to about 85. Okay, and we went through it in real time here in detail. That is the education that we want to go through for you guys. This is exactly lifted all from our course, our educational course. So that you can watch that educational course, parts 1 and 2 at least, and then you can apply that here in the order flow. All right, and that's what we're doing in here with the education. All right, that's our main goal. Okay, so now we came all the way back down into our 77 line, 77.5 here, a little bit below it, and into this area here, and yeah, now we need to kind of wait and see. Anyway, guys, my point was that we saw this order flow change in here, and we're looking for that potential move up into here. Whereas previously, we were looking for it to drop, right? And we go, well, hold on, wait a minute. We're seeing a change. All right, we're looking for them to take it higher. And then up in here, it's like, wow, okay, they're bidding up even here. We should come up into 90. Well, this is what unfolded. We found enough sellers to trade into these guys. So looking for it to come back down into our line here, okay, based on structure, okay, based on all of this volume and structure over here. Okay, that's why we marked it up. And then also this line here, based on the structure in here we were looking at. Okay, and that's where we've come to now. And we noted that we potentially, if we can get through this area here at 80, we can come back down into the 77.5 level here. Okay, and we have. All right, so anyway, guys, that's the process we went through, and noted that this one is a little bit higher probability in understanding the direction here than this one in here, right? We just didn't have all the pieces in here. Well, maybe there, enough buyer will just come down here, enough buyers up in this area here at the top of this range, and then drive it right back into 85 or 86 or maybe even 90 at that point. Okay, all right, so thank you. Yeah, give a thumbs up, guys, if you like this kind of education. I do want to take a step back, and we covered kind of even microstructure in here, and kind of a order flow change here, and then the move on up into these targets and liquidity here. What I want to do now is I want to take a bigger step back and look at the higher time frame in here, so that we can put these things together. Okay, what is the algo, boys? The algo, boys, well, you can read in the description, oh boy. It's go to the there's two different rooms in there. They have the text chat room, and they have the voice chat room. Go into the text chat room and read the pinned messages in there. It will describe who they are and what they're doing in there. These are they're looking. This is only on our Discord channel. You'll see them in their streaming. They don't talk much. They don't want to. Instead, what they want to do is they have proprietary methods for trading, and they've written many algos, so they understand when heavy algorithmic behavior is coming into the market, and they mark up their lines, just like I drew up these lines in here, except they're not looking at structure or anything else. They're only looking at when heavy algorithmic activity shows up. No, they're not on YouTube, Joe. They're only on our Discord channel. Okay, so look up, or I can put the link in here for you guys. You can just go to our website. Well, yeah, just go to our website, and you should see on the top there, join our Discord room. Okay, and just click on that. If you don't, you'll find the link in the More button there under Community. Okay. All right, guys. Well, so let's take a step back here. Now, the structure here for today right now is still bearish. It might be changing here. It might be changing. We kind of made a higher low here, okay, and we did break this structure in here. And came up, but we did not come up into this 95 or 3900, the figure. We're below it. Okay, so therefore we're still in a downtrend here. All right, on this time frame. Okay, I have to say it this way, on this time frame. All right, so that's what we see for the cash session and pre-market as well. Okay, so Yeah, so what does that mean? Well, let's just zoom in here. And if you want to kind of align your time frames, okay, what you're looking for is failure here on the buy side and sellers here at 77.5. Let's see if we get it. If we do, I'm looking for them to drop it right back down to 75, 73, 72, 71, 70 down here. So that's what we'd be looking for. And this is where like we can get into trade management. To me, this seems a higher probability in here. We've already got our pullback, in fact, and that gives you plenty of time to get involved in here, okay, because you even got a pullback. Right now, why is this higher probability? Any ideas why would this be a bit higher probability in here? Okay, looking for this move into 75 and then 73, 70, blah blah, on down to 70 basically. Okay, what do you guys think? Okay, so let's see over on Discord what you guys have to say. Yoakum, I'm not sure what's so funny there, but clue me in. Guys, so yeah, just looking for this to carry on, and would love to see maybe a little more supply here at a lower level. See how it's still dark in here? So buyers can very quickly whip it right back up here. But we're just seeing sellers come in, so we're still looking for this to go lower. Okay. All right, guys. So anyway, why this is a bit higher probability in here? Okay, so here they come, right? So this is, we were aware of this, and we'll go over some management on this here. All right, so and not to get caught up into this here. The Algo Boys actually said something really interesting the other day about their trading. Now these guys they're very serious traders. Now that high probability is eroding in here. Okay, we're still sell side here, but there's quite a bit of buying coming in. Okay, so why are we still sell side in here? Well, because we didn't break the structure. Okay, sellers are still in control in this move in here, but we're noticing, okay, there's quite a bit of buying coming in right in here. And if you look at the bars down here, let's just dim this heat map a bit. See the selling bars and see the buying bars, or the dots in here, then the size and color of the dots. There's more sellers here. Now there's quite a bit of buyers coming in. However, have they gotten back up above the structure? Okay, they may go for it here, and they may do it. And if they do, it should come right back to here, 79, and if there's enough buyers there, they should come right back up into 81. Okay, our previous lines in here. Okay, now let's go over this here. We're still bearish in here. Okay, but how you can avoid getting caught up in these things in here is these. Again, it's not a trade recommendation room in here. These are just trade considerations for trying to give you a bit of an edge, and also how to manage it, how to look at this here in terms of trade management. All right, so and just some considerations, right? So anyway, so let's go over it here. So we saw it in here at this point here, right before it even unfolded here. Okay, we saw this, and we zoomed out, and we looked at the higher time frame basically. Okay, and we said we're still in a downtrend, right? So lower high in here, even though we found all this buying in here, we're still a lower high, and compared to over here, right? So we're looking for, and we're back down here again, and we're finding sellers. So let's zoom in. So we noted that, okay, and then we zoom in here, and we saw back and forth in here, but we saw sellers down here. Okay, a little bit on the offer in here, but we get sellers in here. They should be able to trade right back down to 75. then 73, 72, down to 70. Okay, now we got to move down to the first level of high liquidity in here, and they even pulled a lot of it here. Okay, down to 73 3/4. So you would have been looking to get in somewhere in here. Okay, let's just even give away a little bit here. Suppose you got in around 70, 76 and a half, or 76 even. Okay, somewhere in here. Okay, it's not a good fill. I mean, you could have waited for even a pullback in here. Okay, and then look in again here, and then get in here at 75, which would be a really great entry here, in my opinion. You're looking to trade it down into this liquidity, okay, and then take some off. So maybe you took some off here at the first level of liquidity here around 74. Okay, so you made a couple of points, 70, 76, or 2.5 points, S&P points. Take some off. Okay, you can move your stop to break even, and you would have been stopped out at break even, and you would have made some. Now there's another way to manage this too. If you're really still bearish and you're looking for that to unfold, what you could do is let's just mark it up here. Okay, so what did we say? 76 down to this 74-ish area here. And let's just be realistic here. It'd be something like that. Okay. And what you could do is you'd move your stop up to here, overall stop, and let's just move it down just a little bit so you'd be in the green, even if you got stopped out at break even. It would be break even plus a tick or two. Okay, so you would have been stopped out on that one. And what would you have made on this? You would have made your 1 tick or so. Okay, and that's it, right? But you had, you're looking for the move to unfold. You were positioned for it to trade back down into these areas in here, so that was higher probability, okay, and we noted it. Now there's one caveat, and we talked about this too, that is dark in here, and these buyers can stream it right back up, move it right back up into these areas, okay, because there's no pressure in here, right? There's no liquidity in here, or less liquidity in here. So if we do get these buyers, this is what unfolds. Okay, so you would have been in it even if you had it, in here around 76, which I'm being pretty lenient in here. I feel so. You still would have been in this. You may have been stopped out up here. At that point, you certainly would have been stopped out up in here. Okay, so overall, you would have made a tick or two. Now, you were positioned though for it to unfold. All right, and you were looking for it, right? Now another way to do it, and the way the algo boys, this is what they had mentioned, and it was really curious to me. They're trading some pretty big size. They would take some off and stop to break even, and that's that. Okay, so they're not going to give back anything. They're looking, if this were an algo level that they marked up on their chart, they're looking for being sell side in here, taking some off, stop to break even, look for the next one. In fact, they may have, if this was their algorithmic line in here, okay, they may be even reversing and then looking for the other way back up, because it's traded down below it and now they're trading back up above it. All right, you have to go into the room and see what they're doing, but they put these lines in. They know that there's heavy algorithmic activity around it. All right, so anyway, that's that. Yeah, now we're back up, and the whole picture is kind of changed in here a bit. We made a higher low, and we see some buying coming in here, right? So yeah, the picture has changed into just a really kind of back and forth environment. We're still bearish actually. actually. We're still bearish. Here's why. Well, you can draw it from up here. You can draw it from here. Okay, so we're still making lower highs here and lower lows, except for this one in here, right? This one made a higher low in here. Okay, and we're seeing the buyers come in. Okay, great. So they should be able to then trade back up to 85 again, our 85 level. All right, now I don't see anything really high probability in the order flow at this time, but we are trending up when we're finding a bit more buying at higher highs. And that's about it. All right. My method of giving education to you guys is funny. Okay, I, I'm curious what you mean by that, Yoakum. Would love to hear it. Because our education is based off of, and here's our move, guys, up into this kind of 85 area. Our education is based off the most binary market event that can happen. Okay, and that would be, let's just zoom in here. Let me zoom out actually and find another area where there's no line. Okay, the most binary event in here. Okay, what makes the market move? The way I play around with audience. Okay, no, but this is important. It really is, and our education is very different in this regard. And this, I think, is a leap for a lot of traders to understand. And this is very important in that sense. Atomic, exactly, Adam. That's funny you mentioned that, Adam. Okay, so anyway, atomic is the event, or just sub-second events in here. Now we are sub-second here. Okay, this is truly microstructure in that sense. Okay, we're looking at half second each vertical dotted line in here. So that's and just so you guys know that's what the definition is when you start talking about microstructure. Okay, it is sub-second. Anyway, we're looking at what makes the market move. Okay, well, it's buyers and sellers, it's supply and demand, and what I'm referring to as being demand or supply would be the limit sell orders. Now, it could also just be the aggressors coming in and moving this. They still have a lot of supply to unload. Or, maybe they're entering the market, whatever. It does not matter. But it's this context that we want to understand between the limit buy and limit sell and then the aggressors. Okay, the market buy and the market sell. That's what we want to understand in this auction process. Okay, and if we can understand these things in here, like what makes this market move up, okay, is more buying at this higher level in here. Now, it can be a host of things in here that make it move up. Suppose that all of a sudden there's some geopolitical event, and all of these guys in here, these guys here stay at 80, but all of these guys in here, they pull all of their liquidity. Okay, where would price go next if you hit market buy? Okay, the last transaction was here, right here. Okay, they pull this liquidity in here, and you hit the market buy. What would happen? Okay, so there's 126 at 80 and nothing in between. Come on, guys. I know you know this. Nothing. Really? Come on. Give me something. Over in Discord, we got some guys writing. Yeah, we'll move up for sure. Unless there's maybe a Well, an iceberg would still show in here. The tip of the iceberg would still show. Well, if there's no liquidity in here, even though last transaction was down here on the buy or on the offer, it's going to transact here at 80. And it's going to move up a full point. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to move up from 79 to 80. And anyone, that would account for some of the volatility, right? So if there's no liquidity in here, so there has to be a market or a transaction up here. That has to happen. Right now, there's a whole host of transactions or methods or ways to get up here. However, the more typical one is enough buyers to pull it up into that area. Okay, like this, just like this, right? Enough buyers taking liquidity, trading up into 80, and they even trade through it. Okay, so that's typically. Okay, it's a very high likelihood that this is how the market's going to move up there. There are many different ways that it can, but this is what we want to understand. What makes the market move? Once you understand these elements in here, okay, then, for example, if you want to start to look at, order flow, or let's say you're a pattern trader, okay, flags, or suppose that you're looking at head and shoulders or double tops and bottoms. They are all order flow events. In fact, here's a double top up here. Okay, it's actually kind of a triple top. It's an odd one too. Typically, it's the first leg you see buyers transact up here, and then the next or final leg is a triple top. You do not see any transactions up here. Usually you see transactions over here and then none here, and then it kind of comes down into these areas here. Not much trading. You maybe see some sellers, and then you see sellers down here at the bottom of this range, and enough sellers here, they'll drop it down into the bottom of the range. Okay, so basically you'd get some transactions, not enough to trade through this high liquidity at 82, then nothing. Okay, in this case you got some, and then you got some sellers in here. Right, so but once you start to understand these elements in here, it'll open up everything. Okay, you'll be able to understand your Elliott wave. You'll be able to understand the Fibonacci's is kind of another thing, but like which I just don't believe in, but you be able to understand your levels much better. All right, so and put these pieces together into the marketplace. Our education is based off of these market mechanics, okay, on all time frames. Okay, so we start on these very sub-second levels, low time frames, and we start to understand what makes the market move, and then we zoom out. Okay, and then we're looking at higher time frames in here. What's making this market move? Okay, well, we saw that shift in here, and we saw buyers were moving the market, so we were looking for our 85 level to transact. Now we were even looking for it to drop yet again here because of the structure, and again we found buyers here when we made a higher low in here. Okay, so even on this time frame now we're getting a change, and see how look at the buyers coming in here. See how this move in here was it's just a bigger version of what we were looking at earlier. All right, so now let's see if we get our double top up here. Okay, we're looking for buyers to come back up again and test here the swing high around 86.5 or so. I'm looking for these buyers. Let's see if they can trade up here. All right, now we're going to take this understanding on this time frame in here, and we're going to zoom way out. Okay, we're going to look at a 15-minute chart or an hourly chart or a daily chart and say it is exactly the same. Okay, because it is. So in here we found a lot of sellers drop the market. Okay, where are the buyers? Well, the buyers came in here originally. Well, there's more sellers than buyers. You can see some wicks in here, some buying pressure. and then the buyers just totally take control of the market and move it lower, and the buyers get out of the way, and there's heavy selling. Okay, now down here we found enough buyers, and they're even able to break that little swing here and almost trade up into these previous wicks up in here. Okay, not enough though. The sellers come right back in and rotate it back down again. Okay, now in here, we were looking for this move last week, actually, that we noted this wick, the buying pressure coming in, and we were looking for a move back up to here on this day. This was Monday the 24th, so 1 week ago. We were looking for the move to come back up into these wicks up here. So around, I think around 6 or 7 or 8, something like that, 38.08. And if there's enough, they'll trade up to 20, and the wicks up above on this daily chart up into here, 17 or 20, somewhere around there. Okay. Well, they did actually, end of the day, they did test up there. Okay. Now the next day, and you can look at it and you can understand there's still more buying pressure. Okay, end of the day there, overnight, and next day we went higher yet again. Okay, and we'd be looking for where? Same lines that we drew up on our smaller time frame just today. Okay, back up into here, 77. Okay, maybe this wick up into here, which is 39.33. All right, and we know that there's sellers up here. This is where it dropped. So we're going to look for selling pressure to come in here. Okay, at this point, this was a strong move. This was, yes, last week was pretty strong. We did get some pullbacks in here. Look where the pullbacks came, to the top of these wicks. Okay, here, and it bounced off of it. Okay, it established a new range. This is the pivot right here at 37.72. It was resistance, now it's support. That is no different than what we're looking at in some of these areas in here. Okay, what was resistance now becomes support right in here. Okay, here we trade through it, come back to it, it's resistance, they break it, now it's support. Okay, and we can mark up these zones in here. This is one zone, this is another zone. Okay, same thing on these time frames here on a daily chart. This is one zone down here below, okay, in this area here, and then this is one zone back up above it in here. Okay, now we're seeing a bit of a pullback today, right? And it makes sense. Okay, back up into these levels where we previously found sellers. It's been a good run. All right, so we're still going to find some back and forth in here, buyers and sellers. Now we also have other drivers in the market than just supply and demand, or I shouldn't say it that way. I should say it like it's still going to be order flow. It's just that we have other events unfolding, important events, okay, economic data. We also have geopolitical stuff always, right? So always be on the lookout for that. Okay, so guys, you can even see it in here on the hourly chart. Pretty nice move. Here's the above, here's the pullback to where it broke out from, here's the continuation to the upside. Okay, here's the 15-minute chart here on the right hand side. Okay, same concepts. Okay, so in fact, let's see here, a little lost in the chart here. This is 75, and this is our 75 here. Yeah, so it's this little move in here is what we're looking at here, right? And you can see we're bouncing off of that because this is where we broke out and we found buyers. This is where there was resistance. Now it's support. All right, and it's bouncing off of it. Now let's read this order flow on in the candles in here. Okay, we're talking about higher time frame understanding. We know that we're in a downtrend here. Okay, we opened up low, we even gapped. You can see the gap in here. It has not filled, and we're still finding more sellers in here. All right, well, we found some buyers in here, but look at these wicks up in here. We know there's still selling pressure. And where is that selling pressure? Where these sellers came in, right up here, right? These are really simple concepts, guys. This is where the sellers are. That's it, right? So we look for it in the order flow. Okay, so there should be more sellers in there, okay, up in those levels, right? And these are the little wicks. These are the wicks we were just looking at on that 15-minute chart. Okay, so and let's go back. Let's take another look at it here. All right, so there's wicks on both sides here on this 15-minute chart. They're down here, but another retest down to 75 looks like it's very, very doable here. Okay, on this chart, we're right in the middle right now, wicks on both sides, so we don't have too much insight. Okay, we can also find enough buyers to reach back up into 88 here and these wicks. Okay, 87 to 88, or back down into 75 or even 72 here, 73, 72. So let's zoom back in to Bookmap, and let's truly read the order flow now by looking at the buyers versus the sellers in here. Okay, understanding the where they are on the bid down here and where they are on the offer up here. Okay, and what do the aggressors feel about this here? Okay, so here they come. Actually, we're finding the aggressors. All right, let's zoom in. Okay, yeah, I'm not too convinced by it. It's just come up to not even quite here at our 85 level, and we just talked about the wicks. They were at 88 and then also at 75. All right, so let's read it in here. Okay, on the bid in here a little bit, and nothing high probability right now. Nothing in here. I mean, they're on the bid a little bit. That's not bad, but they're on the offer up here at 85 to 86. Okay, and what about the aggressors? What are they telling us? Yeah, there's some buyers coming in. All right, but look, see how it's dark in here? The sellers can easily move price back down to here, down to 82. Okay, so anyway, so we're trying to read this and gain an edge by reading the behavior of the players in here. And now they're able to trade it back up to 85 or 86. Okay, now it's time for the sellers to move it right back down into this kind of 82 3/4, 82, right? So there we go, right? And we noted that in here. Yeah, okay, there's enough buyers to do that, and the sellers can easily move it right back down. You can stay out of the chop, okay, when you note that in here. All right, let's get back to some of these questions here. Okay, a lot of questions or comments in here. Yeah, Joe, you're talking about the stops, where stops are. Stops are an interesting concept in the order flow. It's more complex than what I'm talking about right now, but it's actually the concept is pretty simple. It's people that are players that are involved in the market in here, in these areas in here, and they really, let's suppose they're buyers in here, like these guys in here. These are aggressive buyers in here. Okay, this was a stop run up here, actually, a bit of a stop run. Okay, and then these are actual sellers in here. They're selling in here. There's a little bit of a stop run, but not much, right? So now let's go over these sellers in here. These sellers, are they in control? No, they're actually out of control because their buyers are back up above them right now. So what does that mean? And we know, we can look at this, we know that there's new sellers in here because there's not much of a stop run. All right, so if we can mark that up in here, I'm going to use an ellipse, I think, here. These guys in here, what is their position? Well, there are sellers here, but they are long now. Okay, so you can even look for that stop run to unfold now, because we know that the line is kind of flat in here, so we know it's new selling. Here are they. Here these sellers are likely getting stopped out here. Okay, so my point was, this happened a little too quickly here. My point was that the behavior of these traders in here is going to be to sell. That is their next event. And if they feel the pain in here as price moves against them, they're going to sell pretty quick, or they're going to have to buy it back pretty quickly. Okay, because their position is negative here. They're going to have to buy it back. All right, and then here's our stop run. Okay, so, and again, we can go through it again. Okay, now we have, again, more sellers here. Now, hold on. Let's see. Okay, these guys might be taking control. Looks like it. So, actually, I'm looking to see these sellers now try to drop it back down into 82 and 81. Let's call it. Okay, because they're coming in from way up here. All right, so this is where they came in. Right now, some buying's coming back in. Now, again, these buyers have to lift it, though, for these sellers to have another stop run. Okay, they have to lift it. If they don't have enough power to lift this, they're going to be the ones that are going to get stopped out down here. Okay, makes sense? So we're always looking at like who's in control and where might they be out of control. And then this is a big driver in the behavior of traders is where they're compelled, they are forced. It's fear. They are exiting due to fear, or they just can't. They don't have the account size to be able to absorb more, or add more to their sell side. Okay, so again, watch the stop run here. We should get it up into 90 now. Okay, so these buyers are still in control, still in control, still in control. Okay, that's why we always start these webinars asking who's in control in a move. Okay, and we can start to identify what might unfold, right? So let's see now. Okay, so there's some little stop runs in here, not much. I'm looking for a big one here up into 90. Okay, these guys here, I've got to sell. All right, now we got something more in here. Now, is this making sense? Is this resonating with you guys? Would love to get your feedback in here. I want to make sure this education is clear for you guys, because if this is clear, you'll be able to apply it to whatever trading method that you have. You'll be able to understand any type of previous trading method at a much deeper level, right? Because it's just market data in here in Bookmap that we're displaying, but you can put those pieces together. Guys, what did we say? Our stop run here, right? Up into 90. Here it is. It's these guys down here getting stopped out on the way up. Now we're getting a nice move here. Right now we have to also look at this in here. Let's clear I'm going to clear everything here, so we'll lose our lines, but that's okay. And now let's cover this in here. Now, not the majority of them. There's quite a few in here, right? But not all of these are people getting stopped out. There's buyers in here too, right? So we're going to look at this though and think about what's going on with these participants in here. And we have that context in front of us. This is where the stops and icebergs gives you excellent context. A lot got stopped out. There's a lot of icebergs selling in here too, right here. Okay, right in this area here. So they're on the other side absorbing the stops. Larger players are using icebergs, smaller players are using stops. The ones that got short in here are getting stopped out up here. Therefore, we can go through another scenario in here. If we can see sellers below that, they should be able to trade right back down to here or here. Okay, so, and the reason being is that these orders up here, there's a lot of people getting stopped out. They're not entering the market, they are exiting the market, or we're assuming that these are stop loss orders. Okay, therefore it's kind of empty up here basically. So we're looking for these sellers now it's an opportunity for them to drive it back down to maybe an area where there's a lot of transactions previously, or where there's liquidity. A good one here is 86. Another good one here is 84. Okay, now the thing is we need to see a lot of sellers, and we're not getting them right now. Okay, now watch this here though. Okay, let's see these buyers coming in. This is new buying coming in here. All right, so the scenario here is, okay, great, well maybe they'll take control of the market, maybe it'll come up to here, right, to 95. Maybe that's the most likely actually right now, because we see these buyers coming in. Secondary scenario is if we can get down below here at 88 3/4, watch out. We're looking to come right back down into this 86 and then 84. Right, all of these buyers in here, they lost the battle basically, and they're going to have to get stopped out at the bottom of the ranges in here. But see how they're still in control here. They're still in control of this market. They're still buying. It's still going higher. Right, so again, we're understanding the behavior of the players in here at a deeper level due to the stops and icebergs. Okay, and again, this is not a red light, green light type of thing in here. It's understanding the behavior of the players in the order flow, and then going through these scenarios in here, looking for something higher probability. All right. Yeah, I think like I mentioned, like, you know, my goal in here is to educate you guys on order flow at a very high degree. Okay, we'll start from the basics, the very basics though, and then we'll move on up to higher levels and degrees here, just like we were with these stops and icebergs. Okay, so here we go. Let's see if we get our sellers in here. They should be able to move it right back down to here and here. Now, is it higher probability? Not really. It's just, this is just chop in order flow, right? Getting one person, you know, trapped on one side, another trapped on the other side, getting them stopped out, and the market's just going back and forth. When we get the pure directional move, we're looking for it to unfold. Right, we really see who's driving the market, and it will really show up and be pretty apparent in the chart. Okay, and right now we just don't see that. So we're going through the scenario, looking for them to trade back down into here. You know, if you could scalp it if you're looking for a few points or a few ticks, but it's not the bigger picture. All right. All right, I hope this is making sense for you guys, and now we can weave this into like volume profile, for example. All right, let's zoom out here and look at this profile. It's pretty ugly profile. It's just really choppy in here, back and forth. Okay, so anyway, now look, see the sellers in here. Watch this. Watch this stop run to the downside into this 84. Maybe you can go lower, maybe down to 80. Okay, maybe even down to our 75 level in here. Okay, see how all of these guys, does that make sense that all of these guys are trapped up here? Okay, all up in here. Okay, they're still in the game. We haven't had our stop run yet. Okay, they're probably just, it's probably down here is where we'll see the stop run. Okay, Joe, I see, yeah, you're looking at your volume profiles, and yeah, I'm here, Paresh. Uh, yep, yep, I see, yeah, you're looking at your, um, you know, market and volume profiles. Well, one thing I want to mention, I mentioned this before about, if you're going to talk about initial balance, okay, let's just break down exactly what that means, because I really hope that in the education we need to break these things down and understand what they are, and put a different context in them, because you might hear the strategy, oh well, like trade it this way depending on the initial balance. It just means the high volume within the first hour of trading. Okay, and what we want to understand is any high volume, okay, it's still going to have a balance, and this kind of imbalance is what we're talking about right now with these stops. Okay, so even in here we see some high volume in here. Okay, well, we're waiting for the stop run to unfold. Now look at this. The buyers are still in control in this move, right? They're still buying, and we did not get the stop run here. So it's actually now the opposite. These sellers in here, they'll have to get stopped out, likely up here and then here 95. Okay, now we need to wait and watch on this one. And again, this isn't really high probability. We're just kind of reading the balances and imbalances in here. But this is precisely like looking at your initial balance. Okay, you're reading high volume, and then you're looking for who's going to be caught off guard or where price might go. If behind all of this high volume, the scenarios, okay, do they remain in control? If they do, well, then we're going higher, right? 3,900, okay, maybe higher. Okay, if they don't, then we're looking for the breakdown, and the breakdown is going to happen right around in here, right around this 87 level, okay, or the support is. And right now you can see the support. It is right here. Here's those buyers right in here. Okay, so that's what we're reading this as, an initial balance, this whole range here. Okay, kind of like an initial balance, just a high volume area. True. Is it? Well, we saw a few moves that look pretty simple to unfold. Pretty straightforward. And then other areas where we're like, well, yeah, we're looking for this to unfold, and it's doing that. It should continue. It's not as highly likely though. We didn't have all of the pieces. Okay, so that's where it's it's up to you as a trader if you want to take those or not. And it just makes your trading more random. Okay, and you want to avoid that. So I mean, unless you have some other study, something that you looked at, well, and that's the way you trade, great, more power to you, go for it. Anyway, I would suggest reading, you know, the participants here in the order flow, and then looking for these, going through these different trade scenarios. What if? Okay, and when you start to see that scenario unfold, one of them will, and when you do see that unfold, it looks pretty good. Okay, and then you've got that higher probability outlook. Okay, we mentioned it today. You want to track currency futures? Yeah, sure. Only. Okay. Yeah, so I read you 4 times here. I would recommend that you look at Rhythmic data feed, full depth of market. Let's add a currency. I think I don't have one. Oh boy, the Discord chat room and the Algo boys, like there's also a chat in the within the voice channel itself that you'll see, you'll see it in the listing there. A little chat icon in the voice channel. Click on that. They might be talking in that one, or they might be chatting in that one. Guys, no insight in here whatsoever right now. It's just, chop. And we have our European close coming up here soon. So we're going to get some back and forth in here. Here we go. So this is getting interesting. So here come the sellers, right? Now they can catch all of these buyers off guard in here. All right, a little bit of a stop run already unfolded. Great. I want to see these sellers press it now. All right, let's see. This is the scenario I'm looking for. Okay, I'm looking for sellers down here and more to be stopped out. Okay, we got a little stop run here, not much though, right? Not much. And I don't see it yet, right? Buyers took it right back up. Okay, and again, what kind of buying is this? This is new buying. Where are they going to be upended? Right there. And it should be a nice move down into kind of 84. If we see sellers show up down here. Okay, and right now we're not. We're not at all. Okay, in fact, more buyers back up here. And now, do we have all the pieces for the buyers? No, we don't. See how it's dark in here? Lack of liquidity. Lack of liquidity means volatility. Okay, or it's very easy to move price back and forth within this area in here. Okay, so let's open up a I'll show you Rhythmic CME 6E. Okay, we'll open that up. Still getting buyers in here, guys. So not likely it's likely we're looking at the 92 here, up into 92. We're still finding buyers. Okay, this is the area we want to keep an eye out for. In fact, we can even look for, see how there's exhaustion here. Okay, so here's our double top. Okay, so now we don't see it unfolding yet, but watch this here. See how it exhausted here and here. Watch these sellers. They'll come in probably right in here. No, we got buyers back up there now. Okay, well, look for sellers down here at 90 and a quarter. If we get sellers down here, they'll likely be able to drop it back down to like 88 and 3/4 or bottom of the range 88. Okay, now that scenario just didn't unfold. We got more and more buyers at higher highs here. Okay, but what we were looking for here was this order flow event. Buyers here, lack of buyers, looking for sellers here, and then they can take it down. Okay, and we just didn't get enough in here. Right, instead we just got more and more buyers. Okay, so they just streamed it right back up. Okay, but this is where we're looking for that change or shift potentially. Okay, we had more on the offer in here. That's also good. And we had a lack of liquidity down here. So that's good. When we came back up, we found our buyers though. Okay, so that's where, and when we have an order flow kind of shift and change in here, more on the offer here, but they pull and they add on the bid here. We're finding buyers. Now our target is 95, 96, and 98 and a quarter here. Okay, buyers are in control. All right, so we have a pullback, more buyers again. They should be able to reach back up into this 98 and a quarter here. Yeah, so this is the European close. True. All right, so we're going to get some volatility in here. So, you know, unless it looks really clean and clear, I like to kind of sit back on some of these things on the more volatile kind of times. Okay, if it's clean and clear though, like these can be wonderful moves, fantastic moves. Yeah, Chu, we did go over an easy setup a couple earlier. Maybe come back and watch a recording on this early on in the webinar. Let's take a look at our 6E. Okay. Okay, currency changes trade a little bit differently. We're seeing a little bit of European strength in here, or Euro strength, I should say. We did make a lower low here when we're still making lower highs in here. But for right now, let's put a little more data in here. Yeah, not really seeing a whole lot here, to be honest. A lot down here at 99. Obviously, that's the big figure. But if the stock markets are going up, now here's kind of a double bottom pattern in here. Okay, makes sense. See this selling? Okay, now I would love to see more buying here. We don't get that. But here, do we see sellers? No. Do we see buyers back up here? Yes. Here they are. Okay, now can they reach here? Okay, that would be this liquidity maybe here, which would be around 99 and 32 or so. Maybe they can come up a little bit higher, 38 or so. Okay, so here they are on the bid at 99.20. Okay, and are we finding buyers? Yeah. Okay, so the likely move here, if we're just looking for a few more buyers up here, okay, at this top edge, and then a move back up into this top edge here at 99.32 to 38. Okay, so don't see them yet. See how we didn't get buyers here, lack of buyers. Okay, but support here in the bid at 23 and a half. How can you subscribe to it? This is for currency futures. Subscribe to Bookmap first, and then you need data. You'll need to get a data subscription. You can get it from DX Feed from the website, or you can go and get it from the Bookmap marketplace. Okay, and that's where you can get rhythmic data, or you can call up your futures broker. And let me show you where you can get the data, okay, from the marketplace or other things from the marketplace as well. Click on from bookmap.com, click on the more button, and then go to the add-ons in here in the marketplace. Okay, and then in here, let's see if we can scroll down. No. So in here you can click on market data here, right? And then you've got two different choices. Here's rhythmic right here. Okay, so see more details, click on that, and here you go. Okay, so all you'll need is CME data if you're looking at currency futures, and you can see it's 39 USD, okay, per month. Right, that's not bad for if you're just going to trade CME products. That's probably a really cheap way to get Bookmap. All right, guys. Well, that we're kind of looking for a flag pattern up here, and it just didn't unfold at all. We're just looking for more buyers up here. Instead, we got our sellers here. So now dollar strength, right? Stock indexes should be going down lower as well. Looking to see if they can get it down to here. Our double bottom pattern is likely to fail down here and then down into maybe 99. All right, so this is the move we were kind of looking for earlier here. And we're going through all of the different sellers and buyers getting stopped out on one side or the other. And all of this mess in here was just going through the different scenarios, though. Who's in control and why? Where did they get stopped out, etc. So, yeah, let's clear it all here. It's kind of a mess. Yeah, and see this move in here. There's a lot of stops in there. So scenario is more sellers here at 91, and we can drop. Okay, we're not getting it. They're coming back up to test where the sellers came in right in here. And there's a spike. Okay, let's see if we get some exhaustion here on that buy side. Yep, there we go. Sellers should be able to drop it back down to 91 here. Okay, looking for that. Looking for sellers right here. And let's see. No, see how they didn't show up? Didn't show up here. And then the buyers were able to lift it a little bit higher. Okay, and now we're back up above these sellers in here. Let's see. You want yeah, so the cheapest way on Shul it would be to if you want Bookmap heat map for the currency futures, subscribe to that rhythmic data or DXV data. It's going to be either 37 or 39 a month for only the CME package. Okay, not the whole group package, just CME only. That one is 39 bucks. Plus you'll need to get Bookmap. All right, so here's this scenario here. You'll need to subscribe to let's see, go to pricing here and get Global Plus for the month here, 49 bucks. Okay, that's the one you need for this is the cheapest. You won't be able to trade from Bookmap. You won't get a bunch of the add-ons, and that's why there's a price difference. Okay, so get that one. So 50 bucks plus another 40 bucks, so around $90 a month. You'll have your currency futures data as well as stock indexes data from CME, from Rhythmic, which is high quality data, and you'll have your heat map and volume dots and cumulative volume delta and all the other features, many of the columns, etc. All right, guys. So let's wrap it up. We'll call it a day. Thanks everybody for coming. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that we can do more like this. And then come to our Discord channel. Up next is Tom B. He will be presenting right around now. So he starts at 11:30 East Coast time. He'll go for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And then also we have Doug Pless, Options with Doug. He'll be streaming right after that. So guys, we have a really nice lineup here of educators. And then the Algo Boys, they've been streaming since something like 8:30. I mean, they're for sure going to be there from the cash open to the cash close. A lot of times you'll see them beforehand though as well. Okay, so anyway, come to Discord, utilize this education. We've got a lot to offer you guys. This advanced webinar here is the foundation, so you can truly read order flow and then apply it to whatever. So for example, if you're looking at the Algo Boys or even Tom B's, this is your bottom edge here. You're looking for sellers in here right on this profile to trade it back down to maybe here 88 and a half here, right? This is a high volume node, so from maybe this volume node on down, right? Now that would be a scenario, but what if we get buyers back up above here and they'll take it higher and build another profile up in this area here, maybe to 3,900. Okay, so go through your scenarios also there. And then the Algo Boys, maybe they're looking at a level in here, and now they're looking for the order flow around their level, right? And they're reading it, looking for it, and then looking for someone to take control at this level. All right. Have a good day, everybody, and we'll catch up tomorrow. All right. Thanks for coming, and yeah, hit the subscribe and the like button. We've got lots of other stuff lined up for you. Come to the Discord and listen to all the other educators in there. It's all free. It's really good stuff. I hope you guys like it. Okay. Yeah. Take care. Bye-bye.